Ever think about a world where Bitcoin's like as normal as using dollars?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole idea behind hyper-Bitcoinization, right?
Yeah.
And some people think it's closer than we realize. We're going to dive deep into this whole institutional Bitcoin bull market thing today.
Okay.
You gave us a crazy stack of podcasts and articles to go through.
Yeah.
So our mission to pull out like the most important stuff.
Yeah.
No crazy jargon,
No.
just, good insights to
Dude.
make you a crypto pro.
It's about giving you the knowledge to make smart decisions. Doesn't matter how much you know about crypto already.
Exactly. So whether you're already investing or just curious about Bitcoin, think of this as your cheat sheet to understanding what's driving the market
Yeah.
and the opportunities that might be just around the corner. One thing that really stood out to me from the stuff you sent over
Yeah.
was the discussion about why Bitcoin matters in the first place.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are three main reasons why people are buying Bitcoin. First, there's the investment angle, the potential for big returns. Second, it's a hedge against inflation, especially with all the economic uncertainty these days.
Yeah.
And third, some people really just believe in a future where decentralized finance powered by Bitcoin replaces the traditional systems, the ones we use now.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that article that you shared about the Fed's reverse repo rate.
Oh, yeah?
That was super interesting.
Yeah.
And explained how when that rate goes up, it actually impacts the price of Bitcoin.
Right, right.
It's like it sucks the liquidity out of the market, leaving less money for people to leverage, which can, make Bitcoin's price dip.
Exactly, exactly.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, macroeconomic factors are huge.
Huge.
You pointed to a podcast that talked about government spending and inflation, how those are key players in this. And the argument was that if spending keeps going unchecked, it could force some kind of intervention in the market, and that intervention could actually boost Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Wow. That's a pretty remarkable shift. So for someone looking at their Bitcoin holdings right now, it really makes you wonder, should they sell or HODL?
Right.
We saw some historical patterns that suggest a breakout might be coming soon.
Yeah.
And you even included this really in-depth analysis.
Oh, from one of the podcasts.
Yeah. That breaks down those patterns.
Exactly.
It explains how looking at past cycles can give us clues about, timing.
That's true. Those historical patterns can be informative, but they don't guarantee the future.
Right.
For those hybrid Bitcoinization believers, those who think Bitcoin will replace fiat currencies entirely.
Yeah.
Selling now wouldn't make sense. They're playing the long game, aiming for a complete change to the monetary system.
That long-term vision, that's definitely a big theme throughout all the stuff you said. Another thing was this report.
Oh, yeah?
With 4 different pricing models predicting where Bitcoin might be in a year. Wild predictions.
Yeah.
Ranging from,
220,000 to 1.8 million?
220,000 to 1.8 million. But what's crazy is even the most conservative model, it suggests a huge gain.
That's right. Those models consider a lot of factors: halving cycles, adoption rates, even global macroeconomic trends. They paint different pictures of the future, but they all point to continued growth for Bitcoin. And even if we just look at the most conservative estimate, it's still a significant potential return.
And, just to add to the positive vibes, did you know this past September was Bitcoin's most bullish September ever?
Wow, I didn't know that.
It actually went against a historical trend.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating is that this seems to be happening as institutions are getting more interested in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Hedge funds, asset managers, they're all starting to take notice. And when they get involved, it brings big money and legitimacy to the crypto world.
Okay, so we've talked about why Bitcoin matters, the big economic forces, and this potential breakout.
Right.
But let's zoom out a bit and talk about the Bitcoin bull market cycle as a whole. We know that cryptocurrency operates in these cycles, and it feels like we're entering a bull market right now. Prices were going up, optimism is high, and this time, institutions seem to be leading the charge.
Yeah. If we look at past bull markets, we can get an idea of what might happen over the next, say, 18 months.
Okay.
Typically, we see really fast price increases, a lot of media attention, and maybe even some FOMO, that fear of missing out, driving some frenzy.
And with all this excitement, we have the 2 giants of the crypto world, Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's almost like they're the foundation. You mentioned a podcast that made a comparison between Bitcoin and digital gold.
Oh, yeah. Bitcoin is often seen as this store of value, a hedge against inflation, much like gold has been for centuries.
Yeah.
Ethereum, on the other hand, is more like a platform for innovation. It's where smart contracts and those decentralized applications live. It powers things like DeFi, NFTs,
Yeah.
whole universe of new possibilities.
It seems like understanding both Bitcoin and Ethereum is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're into those other smaller cryptocurrencies, right? It's like they set the stage for everything else.
Exactly. The way Bitcoin and Ethereum perform often influences the whole market. Their trends can impact the prices and how people feel about other cryptocurrencies.
So speaking of other cryptocurrencies, let's talk altcoins.
Okay?
I like to think of it as like Bitcoin is the main course,
Right.
but altcoins are all the appetizers, side dishes, and desserts
That's a great analogy.
on the crypto menu.
I like that.
And you've highlighted some really interesting ones in your research.
Altcoins, which is basically everything that isn't Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's a world of diversity and innovation.
Yeah.
They offer different solutions, focusing on specific niches, specific problems, more options, more flavors,
Right.
more ways to participate in the crypto revolution.
And some people believe certain altcoins have the potential to grow even faster than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There's this idea of finding those hidden gems that could explode in value, but we've got to be smart about it.
Absolutely. We need to be discerning. Later, we'll dive into strategies for picking and investing in altcoins, focusing on the ones with the highest chances of success.
Yeah.
You know, you highlighted an interesting article about evaluating a project's team, its technology, and its real-world uses. Those are key factors.
That's right. And there's one altcoin you seem really excited about, Cardano. You mentioned it a bunch, and it sounds like it's built on some really solid stuff.
Oh, Cardano's a fascinating project. It's built on scientific research and uses a proof-of-stake system. It's way more energy efficient than how Bitcoin mines.
And from what I've read, it's also built to handle a ton of transactions and even connect different blockchains.
Exactly. Scalability and interoperability.
Wow.
And what's interesting is that Cardano's been making partnerships with governments and institutions.
Oh, wow.
This mainstream recognition, combined with their upcoming smart contract upgrade, it could really position Cardano for big growth during this bull market.
But gotta balance the excitement with a clear look at the risks, right?
Of course, of course.
This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. That's something you emphasized a lot.
Understanding risk is so important. Later on, we'll talk about diversifying your portfolio, not putting all your eggs in one basket, and how to protect your investments from hackers and scams. Those are unfortunately a reality in this space.
Yeah, good point. We'll definitely need to talk about staying safe. You know, something else that came up a lot in your research is the whole regulatory side of crypto. It's still the Wild West in a lot of ways, and the rules are changing so fast.
Yeah. Navigating the regulations can be tough, but staying informed is essential. New rules can be challenging, but they can also bring opportunities, like more institutional adoption and a more stable market overall.
Yeah.
We'll get into all that later.
Perfect. So we've laid the groundwork. We talked about why Bitcoin matters. We got a glimpse into the bull market cycle and touched on the major players like Bitcoin, Ethereum, even exciting altcoins like Cardano. Now let's talk about you. What are your goals with crypto investing? Are you thinking long-term dealing, riding those price swings with swing trading, or diving into that fast-paced day trading?
Yeah, we'll break it all down, explore those different approaches, the pros and cons of each, and guide you towards strategies that fit your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
That's what we're here for, to give you the tools and knowledge to build a crypto portfolio that lasts not just for a quick flip, but for long-term success.
That's right, long term.
Yeah.
Building a portfolio for the long term, that's smart.
Yeah.
You included a report about how institutional investors are approaching this.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Really insightful stuff.
Yeah, it talked about how these big players, they're looking at Bitcoin as like a long-term thing.
Right.
Thinking in terms of years, not days. They're not trying to like perfectly time the market.
Right. It makes sense when you consider how big they are and their like investment horizons.
Yeah.
They're less interested in the short-term ups and downs and more focused on assets that will hold value over a much longer time.
And it's not just Bitcoin either.
Right.
They're getting more into like diversifying their approach to crypto.
Yeah.
That same report, it talked about how they're starting to explore altcoins, DeFi, even NFTs.
Yeah.
Like they're seeing that the crypto world is maturing.
Exactly.
And there are opportunities beyond just Bitcoin.
definitely a sign of like a more sophisticated understanding of the whole crypto space.
Yeah.
And it brings us back to building a crypto portfolio for, lasting success.
Right.
It's more than just buying and hoping to the best.
Yeah.
This requires strategy.
Absolutely. One of the articles you sent, it was all about understanding your own risk tolerance.
Oh, right.
Like, how much volatility are you okay with?
Yeah, that's key.
And then, what are your goals?
Right.
What are you trying to do with your crypto investments?
Those are the fundamental questions.
Yeah.
By figuring those out, your goals and your risk tolerance,
Yeah.
you can start making a roadmap for your crypto journey.
Right.
It helps you avoid those impulsive decisions,
Mm-hmm.
Based on those short-term swings in the market.
I remember one of your sources, they recommended this 70-20-10 rule
Oh, yeah.
for allocating assets.
Mm-hmm.
Put 70% in the established cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum,
Yeah.
20% in promising altcoins,
Mm.
and then 10% in those high-risk, high-reward plays.
Yeah, that's a good starting point.
Yeah,
But got to adjust those percentages
right.
based on your own situation and risk profile.
For sure.
And remember, diversification isn't just a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
You're right. Regular rebalancing, that's key.
Yeah,
That market report you shared really drove that point home.
it did.
This market's constantly changing, so you need to adjust your portfolio.
Over time to make sure it still fits your goals and risk tolerance.
It's like tending a garden.
Oh,
You know, maybe a cheesy analogy,
no, I like that.
but you have to prune, weed, and adjust things, make
Yeah.
sure everything is healthy and keeps growing strong.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've covered the basics of building a portfolio.
Yeah.
Now ready to level up and get a little more technical.
Let's do it.
We got to talk about technical analysis.
Okay.
And those charts you sent over,
Right. Yeah.
I know they can be intimidating,
They can seem that way.
but they hold valuable clues.
Charts are fascinating once you know how to read them.
Yeah.
They tell the story of market trends and price movements visually.
Right. And you were smart to include some info about the essential tools and indicators.
Oh, yeah.
Things like moving averages, RSI, Bollinger Bands.
Those terms can sound complicated,
Yeah.
but they're just filters, really, that
Okay.
help you see patterns in the data.
Yeah.
Patterns you might miss just by looking at the price chart. And these tools, they can highlight good times to buy or sell,
Right.
help you time your entries and exits better.
Exactly. And they can warn you about potential trend reversals,
Oh,
which is so valuable for making good trading decisions.
speaking of patterns, there were some common chart formations mentioned too,
Oh, yeah.
like head and shoulders or double tops. It's like learning to read footprints in the sand.
That's right. It's a powerful skill.
Yeah.
By understanding those patterns, you can start to anticipate the market
Okay.
and position yourself accordingly.
Okay. Ready to go up another level?
Always.
Let's jump into DeFi and yield farming.
Okay?
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
You shared a podcast. It described DeFi as a financial system, but without banks.
A good way to think about it.
It's mind-blowing.
Decentralized finance, or DeFi,
Mhm.
it's all about cutting out the middlemen,
Yeah.
the banks, those traditional financial institutions.
Right.
You can lend, borrow, trade, even earn interest directly with other people, all powered by blockchain technology.
And then there's yield farming.
Yeah.
Sounds like a way to make your crypto work for you,
Exactly.
generate passive income.
You're basically acting as the bank,
Oh, okay.
lending your crypto and earning interest,
Mhm.
like a savings account, but potentially much higher returns.
But of course, can't forget about the risks.
Right. Of course not.
You included a balanced perspective in your research, talked about some things that could go wrong.
Yeah, it's critical to be aware of the risks. We'll discuss strategies for evaluating those DeFi protocols,
Okay.
identifying good opportunities,
Mhm.
and managing those risks,
Mm.
making sure you're making smart choices.
You know, another area you wanted to look at was NFTs.
Oh, yeah. NFTs, they've exploded.
They have.
There's more to them than just digital art, though.
Right. It's like they're changing how we think about digital ownership.
That documentary you said about NFTs is really interesting. NFTs, those non-fungible tokens, they're changing how we own and interact with digital stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just art anymore. We're seeing them used in gaming, music,
Right.
virtual worlds, even things like event tickets and memberships.
It's cool to see how NFTs are creating new ways for creators to connect with their fans
Yeah,
and make money from their work.
right. They can bypass the traditional gatekeepers
Yeah,
and have more control over what they create.
exactly. It's a big shift for creators.
It is.
And as you said, there's a lot of potential for investment here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll dive into that later.
Yeah,
explore those opportunities, help you spot the trends that'll last.
for sure.
But just like with anything, it's important to know the risks.
Always.
We'll cover things like market volatility, intellectual property rights, and the environmental impact of some platforms, just to give you that well-rounded view.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot:
Ooh, it has-
portfolio building, technical analysis, DeFi, NFTs. We're getting a real sense of how to handle this exciting crypto world.
We are, but
We're not done yet.
yeah, it's been a journey.
Absolutely. We've laid a solid foundation.
We have.
But like you said, there's more to uncover.
Lots more.
In this last part, we'll tackle two critical aspects that you were really interested in:
Yeah.
navigating the regulatory landscape and developing that long-term mindset for success.
Those are key.
Right.
Regulations can feel like a minefield. It's easy to get swept up in the hype and make impulsive decisions.
Exactly. So understanding how those regulations impact your crypto investments, that's super important.
Yeah,
And building a strategy for long-term success,
definitely.
that's crucial.
For sure.
So let's untangle this regulatory maze.
Right.
It's a fast-changing landscape. What's true today might be outdated tomorrow.
Right.
You mentioned a white paper
Okay.
that talked about KYC and AML regulations.
It highlighted how cryptocurrency exchanges, they're now required to have stricter identity verification.
Okay.
It's a sign the industry is maturing,
Right.
becoming more integrated with the traditional financial systems.
It seems like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
On one hand, it makes crypto seem more legit,
Right.
which could attract those big institutional investors,
Exactly.
but it also creates more hoops for us everyday users.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
We need regulations that protect investors and prevent those illegal activities.
Right.
But without stopping innovation.
Yeah,
It's a challenge, for sure.
it is.
Regulators all over the world are working on it.
Another thing you pointed out was the whole CBDC thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Central bank digital currencies. Seems like some governments are thinking about creating their own digital currencies.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
A CBDC could streamline payments, maybe increase financial inclusion.
Right.
But you're right, there are concerns about privacy and government control.
It's a complex issue for sure.
For sure.
And that's why it's so important to stay up to date on all this stuff. Be proactive. Adapt to the changes.
Knowledge is power, especially in crypto. Staying informed helps you make good decisions and protect your investments.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Okay.
Talk about that long-term mindset for crypto investing.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
The FOMO,
Right.
but real success takes a different approach.
Absolutely.
One of the books you shared, it talked about patience and discipline,
Oh, yeah.
compared crypto investing to planting a tree.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
You don't plant a tree and expect fruit the next day.
Right.
It takes time, care. You got to believe in the long-term potential.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto is similar. You nurture your investments, weather the storms,
Yeah.
have faith in the technology and its potential to change the world.
That book also emphasized staying focused on your goals.
Yeah.
It asked a really good question. Why are you investing in crypto? What are you hoping to achieve?
Knowing your why is so important.
Yeah.
Clear goals make it easier to create a plan for your crypto journey.
Right.
Helps you avoid those impulsive decisions based on the market going up and down.
Another strategy you mentioned was dollar cost averaging.
Oh, yeah. A great tool for long-term investors.
Yeah. Instead of trying to time the market perfectly, you invest a set amount.
Regularly.
Yeah, no matter the price.
Dollar cost averaging, it's a good way to lower risk.
Yeah.
You average out your purchase price over time, takes the emotion out of trying to buy low and sell high.
And speaking of emotions,
That's right.
we can't forget about managing those.
Yeah.
Especially in the crypto world.
Oh, for sure.
Fear and greed,
Yeah.
they can really mess up your strategy.
Emotions play a huge role in investing, and crypto is no different.
When the market is going crazy, it's so tempting to get caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
And when it crashes, it's easy to panic.
You got to learn to control those emotional responses.
Absolutely. It's about having a plan, sticking to it.
Yeah.
Don't let your gut make your investment decisions for you.
Rationality, discipline, your best friends in crypto.
So true. And that brings us back to the beginning.
Full circle.
Knowledge is your biggest asset.
It really is.
We've covered so much.
A lot.
I hope you feel ready to navigate the crypto world with more confidence now.
I hope so too.
I think we've given you the tools.
We have.
We talked about why Bitcoin matters, how the bull market works,
Mm-hmm.
the potential of altcoins, DeFi, NFTs. We covered regulations, the long-term mindset, managing those emotions.
You got this.
Remember, the future of finance is being written right now,
It is.
and you have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Don't miss out.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few takeaways.
Okay.
First, never stop learning. The crypto world is always changing. Stay curious, stay informed,
Yeah.
embrace the learning process.
It's a journey.
Second, find your people,
Yeah.
connect with the amazing crypto community,
Lots of great people out there.
share your knowledge, exchange ideas, support each other.
It's a community.
And finally, remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Long game.
Patience, discipline, and a long-term vision. Those are the keys to success in this exciting, ever-changing world of crypto.
Couldn't have said it better myself.